Wait, it's the phone. Just a moment. I can't hear you. Can you speak louder? This is a bad connection. Agent Buer is what? Across enemy lines? Are you sure? Has he made contact? But that could be the end of him.
Hi, Upper Lake sophomores. This is Mr. Buer. We thought the Great War would make the world safe for democracy, but we couldn't have been more wrong. Russia became a communist dictatorship, first under Lenin, now under Stalin. Italy and Germany fell to the fascist dictatorships under Mussolini and Hitler. And now there is talk of a civil war in Spain. We need your help to sort all this out. Luckily, through the sacrifices of your comrades in arms, I've been able to arrange a couple interviews to help you understand the ideas at stake. First, I'm joined with the intellectual and scientific leader, Ulrich von Lichtenstein. Thanks for joining me, Ulrich.
Das ist gut. You will help spread the glory of the German people. We are cousins in blood, both having descended from the master race.
Actually, my ancestors are Swedish, not German.
It is as you say. Tomato, tomato. We are of one blood. We are of one master race. God has chosen us to lead the lesser people of the world.
Just don't forget to select the gold chalice from the Knight Templar.
Ik verstehe. I don't understand you.
Never mind. So tell me a little about the latest in Nazi science.
It is like I tell you, in politics, so in science. It is on the blood. There is the German blood. We are born to rule, to triumph. We are all supermen. We are athletes. We are soldiers. We are philosophers. We are musicians. The other lesser people, they try to hold us back with their communism, with their inferior cultures. But we will overcome. It is in our blood. It will be in our children's blood. Nazi science is about keeping that blood pure. It is even about returning that blood to a cleaner slate. Right now, we are breeding a better Aryan people by choosing partners with quality blood to procreate. Soon, we may even develop shortcuts, so we do not have to wait generations in order to regularly see blonde hair and blue eyes everywhere we look.
That sounds interesting. Tell me, if the German people are naturally better, why have Jews been so successful in German society?
Through trickery, through treachery. The Jews are inferior. Therefore, their successes cannot be attributable to any positive racial characteristic.
So your logic is that because the Jews are inferior, they must be inferior? Is that not begging the question? That's like me saying it's hot here because the temperature is high.
I'm starting to think that your blood is not as pure as I had believed.
So because I disagree with you, I must not be as smart.
Correct.
One more question. During the recent Olympics in Munich, but if the German people are so superior, how come some black Americans were able to...
That is all. That is all. I must be going.
Win gold medals over your German athletes.
Nine. They were accidents. They were flukes. They were exceptions. Our athletes were sick. They were having bad hair days. They were not representative of the glory of the German people.
Thanks for your interview, but now I must get on to my next guest.
Nine, you must understand the superiority of the master race.
Goodbye. In Ich danke dir sehr. Next I'm joined by a prominent Soviet thinker and scientist, Yevgeny Vasilievich Bazarov. Привет, Yevgeny.
Привет. Очень приятно говорить с товарищем.
I'm sorry, Yevgeny, but would you mind conducting the interview in English?
Американский ничего не знаю.
I'm sorry?
I said I am happy to speak with my working comrades in America who value our workers' revolution.
Yes, well, I just finished speaking with your counterpart in Germany, and he spent much time discussing the superiority of the German people. Do you feel the same about the Russian people?
Нет, absolutely not. Have you heard of famous Mughal Emperor Akbar?
Why, yes, my students and I actually learned about him this year.
Then you have no doubt heard about his language experiment.
We did learn of that.
Well, he had 12 infants raised in silence to determine what was purest form of language. Do you know what is the language spoken by the children?
I believe they didn't speak at all.
Da, naverno! What is the moral?
Don't conduct ill-advised experiments on children?
Ah, you have good Russian humor. The point is, how did your John Locke say? Tabula rasa.
That's Latin for blank slate, right? His point was that your experiences or your environment help make you the type of person you become.
Da, we will make you workers scientists yet. So German people, Russian people, English people, American people, Egyptian people, it does not matter. Your experience makes you who you are. All the workers of the world were made strong by their oppression under the bourgeoisie, the factory owners. Now we rise up and we are creating environments that will help us overcome. The Soviets are not only for Russia. We are for workers everywhere. Even your black workers in America, whom you forced to use separate restrooms, separate drinking fountains, separate everything.
I think I understand your perspective. And you're certainly right that America is far from perfect. If you have time for a few more questions, what about your last Tsar's son, Alexei?
What about him?
Well, he seemed to have a life-threatening sickness from birth, and...
Yes, he seemed to have sickness because his parents were soft. They raised him soft. You eat caviar and sleep on mattress and pillows every day. And you expect to be strong? If you give Alexei Romanov as a seed, I would have made him as strong as Thor.
Okay. And by the way, you've been working to help seeds grow in the winter by changing their environment. How's that going?
That is a bad question. Fake news. We have some bourgeois spies among the good working people of Russia. They are sabotaging the people's work.
Okay, understood. And one more question. Your Russian Revolution began almost 2 decades ago, and yet your Soviet government keeps on sending many of its people to Siberian camps.
It is not Soviet people. They are enemies of Soviet people. They are friends of the bourgeoisie. They are capitalists.
But aren't many of them peasants or common workers?
No, if they were Soviet workers, they would not go to Siberia. They must be members of capitalist class.
But many were born to poor families and have spent their lives farming or working in factories.
You asked me to explain difficult thing. Look, they're in Siberia. Therefore, they must be capitalists. If they were not capitalists, they would not be in Siberia.
But isn't that begging the question? You were just saying that only capitalists go to Siberia. Therefore, if they are in Siberia, they must be capitalists. But you haven't proven that they are actually capitalists. Anybody could be a capitalist so long as they are sent to Siberia.
My English is not so good, but I think you are speaking good Soviet truth.
Well, спасибо большое. До свидания.
До свидания.
And there you have it. Just remember to check your temperature regularly. and 6 feet.